What up, everybody? Sober experience. We are back. This is love. It's been a minute. Finding myself. What up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing well. I appreciate everybody's patience. Took a couple of weeks off. You know, been really, I've been really facing myself. Man, it's been a little bit, it's been beautiful, and it's been painful, and it's been beautiful. Yeah, I don't even know, how can I really describe it? Let me lower this a little bit. Send this over there. That was a instrumental from the great Pete Rock. He did an album with Smoke DZA, and his what was the name of that album? Oh, Hold the Drums. No, that's the name of the track. Hold the Drums. Like, that beat was so freaking. Excuse me, damn, I'm burping. Yeah, it was like the shit was so bad that bad in a good way that he's telling Pete Rock, we don't even need the drums, we just need that instrumental, which is dope. Anyway, yeah. So, I'm pouring my water with some electrolytes because everybody's, I don't know, man. It seems like a lot of people in my life, we're all rounding a corner at the same time. Hope you guys like and subscribe to my boy Kurt Bascom's podcast, Schooled by Mr. Bascom. He was just talking about, dog, this guy's going into his 30th year of teaching, and what that's all about. My son is going through his own transformations. Physical, mental, spiritual, like the rest of us. I think there's just something in the fucking cosmos, bro. I just think people are sick of just being, being the same. And we're all realizing that, like, the only thing we could really change is ourselves. And that's it, man. Everything else is so far out of our control. All this political noise, all this fucking just negativity, just anger, noise, man. Like, none of it is helpful or constructive in our day-to-day life, I have friends that are really in the weeds with all that stuff. And what I've been doing since about Christmas is I have been in the weeds with my motherfucking self, And that's the truth. That's the truth. I've been in the weeds with myself, man. Let me see. Yeah. January 1, I think, was the last joint that I pursued. So, like, I've been really focused, man, and it's been what my sponsor calls like a beautiful fight, man. The battle has been incredible, and I've been winning a lot, like literally winning a lot. And it's just, I'm not believing just that fucking voice that tells myself, yeah, just procrastinate, or just don't do this, just don't do that. It's okay. Take it easy on yourself. I don't have the luxury of just taking it easy on myself. I just don't have that. Now, I'm not hard on myself. I think that's a big difference. Like, people think that maybe you have to do one of two things, where, like, you are just either, super slug or super fucking alpha, whatever. And it's not really the case for me. Because I'm always striving for, I guess, better potential. I don't even know if that even makes sense. Like, I'm always striving for the next thing. I was listening to, I heard a clip with what's this guy, man? fucking vaccine got me stupid. Huberman and and Goggins, right? Where they're talking about. Don't quote me because my lab coat is in the cleaner, so I don't know any of these medical terms. But whatever, there is a portion of your brain that functions when you are doing something that you fucking do not like to do, and I'm sure it's already made its rounds. Everybody's seen it, because I've seen it 100 times already. And just the torture of doing that to yourself, of putting yourself in positions where you're finding out that you are better than you think that you are. Now, I'm doing that with myself. I'm sure I shared it last time. I'm trying not to share. I wouldn't say try not to share it so much, but I'm trying to hold myself more accountable into what I should be. Am I doing things to say that I'm doing things, or am I doing things to do things? It's almost like somebody who trains martial arts or who does something else. What's like the motivation? Is the motivation for me to really be in a much better space in my life, or is it for me to be like, hey, by the way, I'm also meditating every day, and I'm also praying every day, and I'm doing yoga every day, like, to have it be some kind of conversational piece versus it being some kind of lifestyle where this is just who I am. Yeah, it's like, what's the motivation? Because then the other motivation is just like ego, where, and I have been doing some training, like, and I share some of that stuff with you guys. Like, yeah, I joined the Muay Thai school, no punching in the face. Yeah, so I've been staying pretty committed to that. A few days a week I go. I don't really talk. I've weaned myself off of talking either about that or even in that place about any other stuff that I've done. I've just done my best to. I'm one of these people where, like, I have to force myself to shut up all the time about things that are not it's just not necessary information, except for like ego feeding, whatever. Like, look at me. Like, look at me. I meditate in the sauna. Or, whatever. I can just, that's where I meditate. I enjoy doing it there. But the point of what I was saying is that, like, the Huberman and Goggins thing is that, like, when you go through doing something that's very uncomfortable that you do not like and you make it through there, part of your brain, like, fires up. And that part is good for you. It releases, I don't know what they call it, releases endorphins. It does all kind of shit. Especially if you know that it's good for you. Those are the most difficult things for me, things that are really good for me. It's very hard to stay consistent at, because then here's what happens. I get comfortable doing those things, and then I have to switch it up. Because then if it becomes comfortable for you, even though it is good for you, then you don't get that same reaction in your brain as when it was difficult. So you have to find something else that's difficult to do to get that other's kind of satisfaction. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to be chasing my tail doing these things. But there are things that, I was bottoming out on at the end of the year, just against my will, man. Just being fucking, I wouldn't say relentless, but being a little bit unforgiving, but also being about myself and my progress in different areas of my life, but also being very, just being stuck in reality with myself. It's unavoidable. Like, I can't, it just takes consistency. So, if I try to do these difficult things that I find difficult, I don't even know if they are difficult. I just don't know. I don't know if they are difficult. I know that if I find them difficult, that's when I find God. And that's where I find the glory. Because there's just nobody but me. I live a very isolating life. not on purpose, just the kind of life that I live. I don't live with a lot of interactions with people and things like that, where like they have that kind of control over me. Yeah. And it's just a very fucked up thing. So what do? I whip my own ass in healthy ways, in ways that maybe somebody else might find unhealthy. So, I've been almost a month on this carnivore diet. Let's see what today's date is. Today's the 20th. So the last time I really sat down and had like some carbs, like some real carbs, I think was around Christmas. Yeah, so in like 5 more days. Like, and I just had like basically a cup size portion of my wife's macaroni and cheese, baked mac and cheese, which is fucking, it's like a bump of cocaine. Yeah, it's so good. And it's so good that you want to keep chasing that bump. And then when you crash, dog. Yeah. I'll go carb crazy town. And it just, I don't feel good. I don't feel good about myself when I was doing that. So that's why I was like, okay, well, here's the thing I can try. And I didn't say, oh, this is like January. I ran into some of my homies that do the polar bear plunge. The New Year's Day polar bear plunge was really nice. But people who are in that club, that they're doing this, my homegirl Teresa, who I fucking love so much. Even from a distance, but there's mad love. And she's doing like dry January. I was like, that's fucking cool. I said, and I was like joking, like, I did like 20 of those, but, and all the months in between. Ha ha, funny, humble brag. But yeah, so like, people are, they're doing their thing. And for me, I was like, okay, well, I'm trying, like whatever I'm running from, I'm using at that time. Now, at that time, I have like a list of things that I was running from, and they're not hard to make. I made this post the other day online, and it's the truth, and I'll read it. I don't know what the fuck I did with it. Hold on. Because of all people on earth, like my wife, who doesn't give a shit about my online, as long as I'm not playing footsie with any of these hoes. Like, she doesn't care about who I am on the computer. She doesn't like any of my posts. She doesn't like any of my reels. None of that shit. She does her own thing, which is fine. She's autonomous. What did I write? It was so good. I heard it. Oh, it says, it's hard to see self-deception when you're the only one looking. Right? It's fucking hard. And, and that's what it is. Like, where in my life am I, where is it? These things that, they start gnawing at you, and then they start chopping at you. And then what am I using to deflect? Like, well, I'm not doing this today, and I'm not doing that today, and I'm not doing this today. Like, giving myself all these free passes, And one of the ways that I was, it's like, how many vices do I have left? And then you kind of run out of them. So I was running away from these things where, and really in my life, it was more like financial responsibility and accountability. Now, I am not in any trouble in any way if you looked at me compared to like a normal human being. But I also know where am I just, playing in the mud instead of like, I mean, it could be better. I could always be better. So, but instead of facing those things and asking for help and being with my wife and blah, 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 and involving her in the process and this, that, and the third, what do I do? It's like, well, I go to the gym 5 days a week. Yeah, but I also eat like fucking shit. Now I eat like shit I'm only comparing myself to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm only comparing myself to myself. So I eat like shit in those ways, and and it served a purpose. It kept all those little embers, those little fires that were burning around, and just kept them at bay. And then eventually, it's like it stopped. It just like stopped, man. And I was just like, dude, like I'm fucking dying, in some ways, you know. So, and obviously, you guys know I complain all the time about this fucking brain fog that I get, and you know, so I had like an eventful time. So I was like, okay, let me try this diet. That was the motivate. I was like, bro, I can, you know, because somebody told me like, hey, this will help the brain fog. And I was like, all right. So it'll help the brain fog, and it allows me to be disciplined about one thing. And then if I'm really disciplined about one thing for me, then it will spill over into other areas of my life where I need to be more disciplined. That's the way that the whole system works for me. That's just literally it. So I was like on elimination mode, man. I was taking out. So that was the last like thing of carbs that I've had. Like around, like on Christmas. So it hasn't really been that long. But you go a long time without having any bread, any rice, any pasta, like zero. I mean, zero, not one, you know? And then I start reading labels a little bit, and I start eliminating sugar. And at the same time, I was like, okay, well, what else am I supposed to be eliminating? And I started eliminating, look, I know that if you read 100, you know, of these studies, it'll be 100, it'll be 50 that say this is okay and 50 that say this is not okay. But none of it's going to fucking kill me. That's what I say. And it goes by what I believe. It's lining up with my beliefs, you know? It really is. It lines up with my beliefs. So what I'm saying is that, like, okay, all the sugar that is in a lot of shit is shit. And it's like, it's the removal of it is like not rewarding. It's punishing, actually. It fucking sucks in the beginning. It's good because you get this little bump like, oh, I'm doing something good. I feel good. I'm part of this fucking thing. You know, I have two friends that are also on this diet. One has been on it for a long time. The other one, you know, Roberto's been on it for whatever, couple months. And so I've had people to check in with, and I've been doing great. You know, so point is that like I started, removing the sugars, and I took them all the way out. Like, no, when I see something that has added sugar in it or any sugar in it, I just fucking say no. So I've been drinking a lot of fucking water, which is fine. And then, but I also know because I don't know wherever I learned this thing and I took this class, but I was just like, dude, anything with OSC is a sugar. So I'm like, okay, this has the OS, no good. So I just depleted the sugar, the carbs, all the other stuff. And then I went and fucking really went into the thing where like, and I don't know how much I agree or believe. I believe in the possibility that these like seed oils are like horrible for you. You know, soybean oil and all this other shit. So I just fucking stopped. And I just cooked my food in fucking butter, man. I'm just trying this thing. See how I feel. Now, I was feeling great for a few weeks. Maybe like 2, 3? Yeah, 2. But I don't know. I don't even know how long it's been on. Maybe it's been on 4. So I was feeling great for a while, bro. And like extra, I was also like, saying like, well, maybe this will get rid of some of the visceral fat, which is the fat that's around your fucking organs and all these other things that, from me eating like shit I look at myself and I'm like, dude, I feel like shit about myself, dog. And it doesn't matter what anybody else fucking says. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter. Even though I was like fishing for compliments in different ways. Whatever. I share shit on here that I also share on social media, where like I found myself, that I couldn't wait to tell people how old I was, so that way they could tell me how good I looked. And even if they weren't feeling, even if it wasn't true, I was feeling good about it. But I was like, dude, is that who the fuck I want to be? Like a little bit of like a like a schnurrer or some fucking little yenta fucking like, hey, please love me. I don't know. That's what I started feeling like. It felt disingenuous. It just did. It felt disingenuous, so I stopped doing that. But that's what I was doing. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know how many pounds I lost. Maybe, I think 8. I went down to about 180. Now I'm like back up 181. But I was going too far because again, I was just like wanting to be famous but not wanting to put in the work. Like I have to do more research and like, just cut all these things out. Like, no, I have to eat food at the right time. I have to do the right caloric intake, Like I was almost basically starving myself. Then I would get like low blood sugar and I was thinking I was like sick. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking pass out. Like almost passing out. Like it happened to me like 2 days in a row. I was like, dude, something's either wrong. Either I got fucking COVID or the new fucking Wu-Tang, disease, whatever is going around. Or I am being, again, irresponsible from choices that I've made. Where like, yeah, I want to start the race, but then do I want to, do I want to make sure all the fucking lug nuts are right on the tires or whatever else? So, I was talking to my friends and know who brought it out of me? Oddly enough, my youngest, my little boo, Sam. She's the best, this little girl, man. I call her a little girl. She's 17. Man, I just want to squish her face and just keep her next to me all day. Anyway, she's like, you have low blood sugar. That can make you sad. And I was like, okay. And I hadn't eaten anything until like 2-3 days ago, as far as like sugars and this, like nothing, like no fruits, nothing. And then it was just so bad. I was at Whole Foods. I went and I got a thing of blackberries. And I just ate. And I was so hungry because what was happening was I was like starving myself, but not starving myself on purpose. I just wasn't fucking hungry anymore. Next thing you know, it'd be like 3 p.m. and I'd only eaten 4 hard-boiled eggs and a shake the whole day, which is no fucking good for me, bro. No good. And I'd make my own shakes. Like I do like the Jocko Mulk or whatever. I wasn't eating enough because I wasn't hungry. And so I had caloric deficit, and then I sat and I ate this little tin of fucking blackberries, and I felt better right away. It's like, wow, maybe. And she just looked at me and she smiled, like, see, I told you. I was like, oh my God, I love you. Anyway, so then the next morning, I got back onto just eating when I'm supposed to eat, not like only when I'm hungry. Like I'm not on a starvation diet. I don't need to lose a lot of weight. I mean, I have like, I don't know what that stuff is, where you don't like a body dysmorphia, I have a little bit of that. And that's okay. It keeps me in check. But like, I don't have a lot of fat to lose, to be honest. I just don't. I would love to lose like maybe, another couple pounds. That's it. So point that I'm saying is that because I became disciplined in that one thing with the diet stuff, then it's like every day I've been really disciplined about, you know, I think I overslept one day in all these days in this past month, I guess, you know. And I have the luxury of being able to oversleep every fucking day if I want. Getting up early is actually a choice. Like, I don't have to get up early. I don't have to show up to my work every day. I fucking don't. You know what I'm saying? I have my shit set up where I can just fuck around. And if I listen to that voice, it's like, yeah, the bed is comfortable. Look at your fucking boo over there looking like a fucking, you know, Cleopatra and shit. What are you doing? What are you getting up? This is the life, bro. Go back to sleep. Keep doom scrolling on your fucking phone. You know, snuggle up, do whatever, you know. And just that type of sedentary mind of not challenging myself. You know, just, you know, if I do that, I'm not saying if I do that all the time it's bad, but what I'm saying is that, like, when I don't do that, I actually feel better. And it's tough because then I just tell what I've been telling myself is that, like, the first thought of you saying, no, fuck this, move and do something, you have to do it right away. And I don't need, like, a lot of motivation of, like, listening to, and I find the more that I start to do, once I start acting and doing, then the less, like, actual motivation that I need, you know? I don't need the motivation because I'm doing it. And it's all love. Like, I'm trying to love myself is what I'm trying to do. I'm not nice to myself. I don't talk to myself fucking nice all the time. And I don't feel good about myself all the time. But I feel good about my life. I can tell you what I feel good about. I feel good about my freedoms. I have the fucking freedom. Like, insane. Insane. In comparison to the other freedoms that other people don't have. You know, that other people don't have. I was watching this video of this girl who got fired on a fucking Zoom. That was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, I'm going to, actually, I was thinking about it. Let me play some of it. And I'm sure, I mean, it's gone already fucking gazillion viral. But this girl, she recorded herself on, just to show me how, you know, this is not part of my life. And this is not part of, I was just so, it made me sad. I'm like, dude, that people are in a position in their life that this is their fucking life. And they believe that they're winning. You know, they believe that they're winning. And I'm like, dude, this is like a young person who is lost. This poor girl, you know? Let me pull this thing up. Hold on. I gotta make sure the sound and everything is good. All right, hold on, because I'm sure there's gonna be oh, here we go. All right, stay with me. This is like live. There's no, you know, I don't edit any of my shit, so I'm just like trying to do this at the same time. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, that can't be that low. All right, here we go. It says, POV, you're about to be laid off. And then I'll just do like some commentary, I guess, because this is only the second time I listened to it. I listened to it with my wife. We're like, oh my God. I'm like, dog, this is why, like me, fucking alpha male shit, like whatever. Bro, there's no way that I would allow my woman, you understand me? My woman would never be in a position that people could talk to her like this. And, yeah, okay, so here we go.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi.
Yes, I'm so sorry. My name's Rosie. I'm just joining the call. Nice to meet you. I'm on the HR team.
Mm-hmm.
It's HR.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me and Rosie. We have an important meeting today. We finished our evaluations of 2023 performance. This is where you have not met Cloudflare expectations for performance. We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Sure.
So I started August 25th. I've been on a 3-month ramp, and then it was 3 weeks of December, and then a week of Christmas, and then here we are.
So this girl's like standing up for herself because this HR person and this other fucking guy who she does not know, who doesn't work with her, is not even part of her sphere. This guy is a guy who's like, yeah, you're not meeting expectations and we're parting ways. He's basically firing her on a fucking Zoom, bro. Like, not even to my face with like some fucking dignity. And I mean, kudos to this girl because she's standing up for herself and she's really about to really like try. And if this was my kid, I would lose it. But I'm going to keep going.
I have had the highest activity amongst my team. Since I've started, I have had 3 contracts out, done a really great job managing my deals up until the very end that decided not to close last minute. So I don't think that makes a lot of sense for me in my Cloudflare journey here so far. Also, every single one-on-one I've had with my manager, every conversation I've had with him, he has been giving me nothing but I am doing a great job. I have had great activity. I have really great meetings. I'm picking up the products very quickly, and things have been going really, really well. I make really great relationships with my clients. So I disagree that my performance hasn't been, I haven't met performance expectations when I certainly have, just because I haven't closed anything officially.
Yeah, so, she's standing up for herself a little bit, and from the outside speaking in, you can be like, okay, well, is some of this bullshit? She's only been there a little while. Her management, everybody's giving her, like, good praises and whatever, and of course, yeah, look, you don't close deals, you don't close deals. Closing deals in December is fucking very, very, very hard in the corporate world. She works at a company called Cloudflare, So, so I'm going to keep going.
I hear you.
Also, why are you doing this and not my manager? We've never met, so this seems a little odd that my manager has no idea that this has been happening and the director has no idea that this has been happening. So I'm just definitely confused, and I would love like an explanation that makes sense.
Yeah, like that's such a I'm infuriated again just listening to it because, like, dude, not even your own superior is firing you or laying you off, whatever you want to call it. Listen, the hardest part of running any business is letting people go. That is the hardest part. You can listen to any Fortune 500 company. I've heard Larry Fink fucking say it. I've heard Michael Bloomberg say it. At the same time at this conference, they were just like, listen, Jamie Dimon, they're like, dude, the hardest thing is letting people go. Because you got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to sit across. I've done it. I don't know how many people I've had to let go of or fire in my life. Maybe 30, 40, maybe 50. Let's just say 40 to 50 in my whole life, because I've been in business for myself in one form or another for that amount of time. I'm not going to go back into my whole story. But, like, yeah, when I worked on Wall Street, I had people working for me 5, 6 at a time. In the business that I've had now. And listen, you got to give somebody else that respect, even if you got to give yourself that respect. That, like, no, I'm going to sit across from you face to face and let you know it is over. It is over. And not just some random person, that's that there's outside companies that they get hired to do this type of fucking assassination work. It's disgusting.
100%. Real quick, let me carve out the two threads. The latter of why I'm on this conversation, I'll put that one to the second half, and Rosie might be better to explain the process of who's giving this information in the prior piece, which is your feedback and notes about your performance. So let me add a little color context to that. So
fucking double
just
talk.
for clarification, you are not being singled out in this. Your peers are also being collectively assessed on performance. This is a collective calibration for Cloudflare. So I just want to clarify that piece. I won't be able to add any kind of specifics on numbers or...
Wait, yeah, no, can you explain for me why Brittany Peach is getting let go?
I won't be able to go into specifics.
That's her name, Brittany
numbers.
Peach.
Wait, why though? I just started. I've been working extremely hard. Just because I haven't closed anything that has nothing to do with my performance on a 3-month ramp with just 1 month with 2 major holidays in the middle, I don't think that has anything to do with why I should be let go, if that makes sense. So I really need an answer and an explanation as to why Brittany Peach is getting let go, not why Cloudflare decided to hire too many people and are now actually realizing that they can't afford this many people and they're letting that go. If that's the real answer, I would rather just you tell me that instead of making up some bullshit and telling me that right before I lose my job from someone that I've never met before.
That was incredible. That's like a moment of honesty. Obviously, she already knows that like nothing she's going to say or do is going to let her keep her job. But she's standing up for herself and holding these animals' feet to the fire. You know, it's like, listen, you want to come here and you want to fire people online? Guess what? Some people are going to have something to say and you're going to have to eat that shit. You're getting a paycheck for doing this? Well, you're going to have to earn your money today. Fucking Randall or whatever your name is. Peter.
Respect that.
Yeah, I can totally respect that, and I don't think Dom or
Here's the
myself
HR
today is
bitch.
going to give you any clarity or answers that's going to meet the expectations that you're communicating to us, Brittany. So I can't speak to...
So am I getting let go for no reason? If you guys can't give me a reason?
I'm happy to follow up with you separately to give you the data that was calibrated. I'll need to speak with revenue leadership specifically to see if we can get that for you. But Dom and
can
I
you
did
share
not
that
have
with me
that
now?
in our meeting. I cannot share that with you right now, unfortunately. Yeah, it's understandable how you feel and your frustration. Cannot stress that enough.
I have been working extremely hard. I just knew that this meeting was coming after knowing what's been happening with my peers and how extremely frustrated and upset everyone is. I know you guys must not be able to understand that given in the positions that you are in, and it must be very easy for you to just have these little 10-minute, 15-minute meetings, tell someone that they're fired, completely wreck their whole life, and then that's it with no explanation. That's extremely traumatizing for people, if you can imagine that. And I don't think that this is, it's just very, very shocking. Very, very shocking. I've like really given my whole energy and life over the last 4 months to this job. And to be let go for no reason is like a huge slap in the face from a company that I really wanted to believe in.
Yeah, man. She's only been there 4 fucking months. Literally 4 months. So crazy. And this HR lady is like a gaslighting cunt. You're gonna hear what she has to say. It's so crazy. It's like, dude, this is like an abusive fucking boyfriend or girlfriend that's just like emotionally cutting you at every corner and just spinning you around, and this double talk, whatever. And this girl, I mean, she looks like a young girl. I mean, whatever. Maybe she's 28, 30, 32, you know, goes to college, comes out, gets a job in one of these tech places or these other places. And this is how they fucking do her, man. I'm so happy she recorded this. I don't need it for content at all. But, like, this is exactly why, you know, this is exactly why, like, The way they talk to this girl is the same way that judge was talking to this fucking guy who dove over the bench and they threw her a fucking couple of slaps that she deserved. Like, yo, you can just do your job without being an asshole. You know, especially if you're in charge of somebody else's well-being. Like, you're not in charge for her of everybody's conduct. Their conduct has something to do with the position they're in, but the other part that has to do with it is who you are and how you handle yourself. If you're a good leader, you know, you're going to get people who really want to work and blah, 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 blah. And if you're fucking not, or if the people suck, then they fucking suck. But it's never 100% them. It's never. We're going to keep going.
Can absolutely understand how you feel that way, why you feel that way. And I'll be honest with you, there's nothing that we're going to say in this call in the time that we have that's going to undo the way that you feel right in this moment. I've heard.
Like, you heard that? There's nothing we're going to say or do that's going to undo the way you feel. That means that you don't fucking matter. Your feelings don't fucking matter. Oh my God, bro. Like, dude, imagine sending your kids into the fucking workforce with this type of matrix shit going on a fucking Zoom call. Because nobody would ever speak to another human like that face to face. If they do, bro, it's worth giving up a felony to slap this bitch with the fucking stapler.
Will do everything that I can to give you as much specific information as I can after this call. I can't make any promises. I understand where you're coming from. I can tell you that Dom and I do care. I understand the feeling that you have right now. And I can't change that. So I'll just be honest.
But why can't, you guys have still not given me a reason why I'm being let go.
It's like, yo, you can change the feeling by just being honest. That's how you change the feeling.
Despite constant positive praise from my manager, great meetings that I'm having, the amount of activity that I have has all been positive. I have not received any negative inclination. I have not been put on a performance improvement plan, nothing. So.
And I cannot speak to what your manager has communicated to you directly.
But that should be the indication of
poor performance based on your attainment and leading indicators of data. That is the rationale.
But I've been here for only a month after ramping, and that was during a holiday. So I don't understand can you explain what those performance metrics are? Or is that just like a vague term to give to everyone that you're speaking to today?
I'll say that the performance indicators and performance metrics are, we're not able to go into specifics, and there's no situation where we will be able to go into
Do you guys even know, like, why, like, who you're talking to each day? Like, every single 10, 15 minutes, do you guys even know who you're talking to? Like, why you're letting these people go when you don't even understand, like, the kind of work and everything that they've put in?
That's a valid question.
What you're saying.
It just doesn't make any sense that you guys have still not been able to give me a reason why I'm being let go.
Just from a process perspective, your questions are valid. This isn't going to be the forum and the situation where we're able to go into the detail that you're looking for.
But then when? If it's not right as I'm getting fired, then it's certainly not going to be after when I'm no longer part of the company.
Right.
So I don't think there's anything we can say in this moment or today, Brittany, that's going to change the way that you feel. And it's understandable. I'm taking notes and feedback, and we'll circle back.
Yeah, I know you did that for Nestle too, but that's
of the meeting. It's not going to change the outcome of the situation today. So it may be best if I do get into more of the specifics of what the next steps are. Because I think it's clear that you have questions that we cannot give answers to. And if you'd be open to it, I'd love to move into what the next steps are so that you're not any further blindsided than you already feel.
Okay.
Thank you, Dom.
Hi everyone, welcome back to YouTube channel Focus again.
Yeah, how crazy was that? Bro, how fucking crazy was that? That was like traumatizing for me, you know? Traumatizing for me. And, you know, think about the kind of world that is in, that they, number one, this poor kid who's been there 3 months and is getting let go after 4 months, right? 3 months of ramping, which means they're basically training you for your position, you know, blah, 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 getting you up on your feet. And you have 1 month to make some shit happen, and it's December, you know? And they're doing that. And then you have these two lizards who are just spitting things like, where do you have to be in your life that this is your fucking life? Like, when is humanity going to come back? Like, bro, you couldn't pay me enough to be the guy on that Zoom call. Like, no way. Like, no way. It doesn't matter, man. You couldn't pay me enough to be like, well, I'm just here to fire you, and I'm not even going to tell you why you're being fired because they didn't even tell me. Like, and go kick rocks. Yeah, like what? You know, what part of the game is that? That's like the fucking weenus part of the game. It's so angering. You know? It's so crazy. It's so sad that I'm so happy. I don't even know. I'm happy that girl, whatever her name is, I forgot her name. But I'm happy that she recorded that and it went viral on TikTok and all this other shit because, dude, like, the fucking Martians are here. You know? If this is life, how you gonna blame, you know, people like, oh, nobody wants to work. These, what millennials, Gen Zers? I don't fucking know what generation they are right now, bro. I'm 44 years old, still listening to fucking Cool G rap. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. Still, like, straight up and down, you know, no special effects in that area. So, but I would not, if this is the environment that these, some of these young people find themselves in, I don't know if they, you know, not everybody chooses to be in there. Some people, you follow the Kool-Aid. You're like, oh yeah, I guess this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Who knows? You know, but you find yourself in this thing believing in like, oh, I'm going to go work wherever at Cloudflare. I don't even know let me look up what they do just so I have an idea. Because like, I'm over here slandering and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. Similar to like Dana White with the Peloton. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Nobody could take anything away from me. And if they could take it away from me, guess what? I can fucking rebuild it again because that's who I am. I can rebuild something. I can build anything because I learned how to build and how to be independent and how to be for myself and for my family and for my fucking brothers and sisters that are walking this earth. Cloudflare is a, what is it? Let's look at this fucking crazy. Will Cloudflare be $1 trillion stock by 2050? Meanwhile, they're kicking this poor girl out. Cloudflare is one of the biggest networks on the internet. People use Cloudflare for web application security and performance. I'm not going to give them any more fucking clout. You know, we provide security and performance for millions of internet properties and offer functionalities such as SSL and content distribution of every website on our network. Whatever it is, fucking shame on you, bro. And I don't know how people could earn their living doing, you know, just being like that. You know, such a disappointment. I hope it fuels that person to start their own company and then want to put them fucking out of business. You know? That's what I hope. And that's what the beautiful thing about this country is, that you can do that. Somebody fucks you, bro. You can dust yourself off and you can come back and you can do whatever you want. You got to be willing to pay the price and the sacrifice of what it takes, but it can happen. I promise. I freaking promise. Anyway, we're going to tap out here before I fucking snap this microphone in half. I still got a little bit of work to do before I get back to my wife and my life. Anyway, we're back in business. Okay, don't forget, like, subscribe on all podcast platforms. Sober Experience, the former Spiritual Experience, but now we're the Sober Experience. Share it with all your friends, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week. I love you. Peace.